build the wall. When they got halfway done, they got weary. They got tired. And they got battle fatigued. Sumerians came down and started lying to him and telling him that, even a fox could knock us over the wall. And he got discouraged, but he got the people together and they prayed and they kept on. And it reminded me of, once again, of that story, R.U. Derby, or D-A-R-B-Y, a man who came from out east and he went to Colorado, and he started digging for gold about the turn of the century. This is about 1890s and 1900s, and they said that he could possibly have the biggest vein of gold ever found in Colorado. So he called his nephew, R.U. Darby did, and they bought some equipment, and they kept getting a little bit of gold and a little bit of gold, and they finally realized we're going to be out of debt, just a little bit more gold. They went back the next morning and the gold ran out. They dug and dug and the vein went empty. So they waited a little bit, they sold all the equipment they had for junk. They bought it, they took it to the junk man and they cashed it in for junk. And they put up their deed for their mine, and the man bought he said, I'm gonna go check this mine one more time. Well, Darby didn't understand that they was false. And the man told them, he said, well, possibly there could be a great amount of gold there. He said, those faults are 3 foot deep. And he dug through this fault, this layer, and they hit the biggest amount of gold ever at history at that time. And the man made millions. He bought it for about nothing from R.U. Darby. But if Darby would just kept on a little bit more, 3 more foot, and that man made millions, and Darby went back to selling insurance. But he learned something. Every time somebody told him no, he said nope. He kept going back. He said, I'm not giving up. His motto was 3 more foot. And he kept going, but he had one of the greatest insurance companies in the Northeast. And he sold insurance because he never quit. But he sold his whole fortune, and he was just 3 foot away. And it was one of the stories you read in history, R.U. Darby, just 3 foot short. And sometimes I don't want to end up quitting just a little shy. My buddy, Mama said she prayed for his daddy for 40 years, day and night, that he would get saved. They got married, and he was a good man. He was a truck driver. He was going a lot. He had cattle, and he loved his boys. He took them hunting. But she prayed for him every morning, every night, for his salvation. She finally got cancer after 40 years of being married, and she was getting ready her health was going bad. And after 40 years, that man came to know the Lord because she was so faithful and prayed for him. But and he told me, he stood up and testified when, the day they buried his dad. He said, my mama asked him and begged for him for 40 years and didn't give up. And he told us, don't give up on praying for people. He said, you might be giving up one day early. Just one day. And the next day after that, we was off a couple of days, me and Patty. We went to the mountains to West Jefferson. It was so cloudy, couldn't even see the drive, couldn't even see the curves on the road, and then straight down the mountain. And we was almost to where we was going, West Jefferson. And all of a sudden, we got above the clouds. It was the most beautiful day you ever seen. And we just, what a difference, a mile makes. What a difference a day makes. And that, just don't want to quit. Don't want to quit too early. I know when we face hardships, we feel like things are getting rough, and like preach on Nehemiah, I hope maybe in a couple weeks, and he was about to give up. People were telling him lies. People were saying what he was doing wasn't good enough. But yet at the same time, God shows us what to do. Come together in prayer. Come together. When somebody is in need, we come together. And we don't get discouraged. We got to keep on. So let's not quit too early. I mean, it's not the best of times, but this is what we got.